This is one of the most important questions I asked before I decided moving to Northwest Arkansas. The question is, what are the winters like here? So let's talk about that. Hey everybody, if you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I actually was a real estate broker located in the dumpster fire, the horrible, the no good state of Illinois, the worst. Anyways, I could have moved anywhere I wanted to in America. I could have moved to Nashville, I could have moved to Maryville, I could have moved to Chattanooga, Boulder, Golden, Salt Lake City, Boise, all different places that you might be looking at right now. But I chose Northwest Arkansas. By far, it is the best place to live in America, literally by far. If you ever want to talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas, call me, text me, let's meet up for coffee and why I chose here versus, again, anywhere else in America. Without further ado, let's jump right into the content. All right, and the first thing we need to cover, which is honestly, in my opinion, one of the most important things when it comes to winter, are going to be the temps as well as the snow count in Northwest Arkansas. So just let's get the cat out of the bag. If you are coming from a northern state, you're going to be drastically warmer here. I moved here from Chicago, so anything south of Chicago is a win for me. So the average low, which is what I care about, kind of, is 28 degrees. Also, the high, and that's the worst. That is, I think in January. Yeah, January is the worst. It's 47 degrees as normal, 28 degrees as an average temperature low at night. So that's kind of the average temperatures on normal. The thing I also want to mention is the average snowfall in Northwest Arkansas is 9.8 inches per year. So sometimes, this is coming from someone who's lived here since 2020. Every once in a while we'll get a snow in December. It'd be great if it was during Christmas time, great. But realistically, we'll get a little snow in January. It melts that same day. And then also February as well, melts that same day. It almost never sticks like for a day or two, it's gone, just gone. There's no snow plows here. There's no salt trucks. The world doesn't really shut down, but it just kind of like brings it down because no one here knows how to drive in snow. So keep that in mind. So average temp again is going to be a high of 47, 48 in the worst of the worst there. Now, one thing I want to mention here is if you're coming from Chicago and coming from here, Chicago and other places of America, especially in the north side of America, are known for being very cloudy during the wintertime. So very kind of dismal. You get depressed. It's like another day of snow cover, of clouds. Ugh. Now in Chicago, and I'm sure Minneapolis and Detroit and a lot of those other states as well, and especially if you're in the Dakotas, all that northern section, they used to have a counter on the news of how many days since we have not seen the sun. So that's common in Chicago. 10 days, 12 days, 15 days, 16 days. Not uncommon to not see the sun for almost 16 days in Chicago. It's the worst. Anyways, in Northwest Arkansas specifically, you get an average almost an extra 30 to over 30 days of extra sun per year. And you know where that sun falls into? During the wintertime. So it's very rare to have a over cloudy day in Northwest Arkansas. So I love that. The nice thing is that, and we'll talk about this here in a second, but the nice thing is that if you do go outside in the wintertime, which why wouldn't you? Because it's still, that's the average low. Oftentimes what I experience is usually in the 50s, and when it's sunny and 50 degrees, it's actually pretty good. Now I came from negative 30 as the low, negative 40, that's insanity. But my average low is a lot colder. So going out in 50 degrees in the sun, not a problem. You got to dress a little bit warmer. You got to do the thing, but it's totally fine. So that's your average kind of like your temperatures as well as your average snowfall. So coming from California potentially, you will, as long as you can handle like 50 degrees in the sunny, you're doing just fine. And the second thing we need to cover when it comes to winters in Northwest Arkansas are what are the actual outdoor activities? Now, that is one of the biggest things that brought me here was the fact that I enjoy definitely biking, I enjoy running, I enjoy being outdoors in the wintertime. I didn't have that opportunity in Chicago, so that's just to be clear. Usually it's Netflix season between November, December, January, February, March. You can tell from Chicago the way I say February. But regardless, I was really trapped indoors, and you might be experiencing this too, maybe reverse, maybe you're coming from Phoenix and you're trapped indoors because of the heat. So regardless, you are kind of trapped indoors for at least 4 months out of the year. Just way too cold, way too much snow, anything. But here in Northwest Arkansas, we don't have that issue. Even in Colorado, they have way more issues than we do in the wintertime because, unless you're a snowboarder or you like skiing in general, great for you up there. But here, it's just that midsection where it's still very temperate during the wintertime and also very temperate in the summertime. But I digress. Some of the nice things, activities you can do in the wintertime, again, you can go running, you can go walking, you can go mountain biking. I see some real brave souls. They go on the boats and go fishing. That's on them. People still go rock climbing. The world does not shut down here in Northwest Arkansas when wintertime comes along. So just keep that in mind. If you are looking to be more outdoors active, say you feel like you're trapped indoors, you don't have that access to trail systems or access to any of that stuff, here in Northwest Arkansas, ample stuff, as you're fully aware, ample stuff to outdoor activities. You may not want to get in the water, obviously, but it is going to be super easy to go walking, to go biking, to go running, all those different activities that are outdoor focused, even just suntanning. So I've even seen people do that. That's a little bit daring though. But regardless, if you want to be active in the wintertime, very possible to be here. Now, there are no snow caps here, so don't feel like you're to come here and start snowboarding. But all the other activities when it comes to outdoor stuff, you can certainly do it here in Northwest Arkansas all year long. Whoa. I made something for you. I made something called 3-day itineraries. So maybe you're looking to take a trip down here, maybe just check out the whole area. I made 3-day itineraries, literally day by day, city by city, place by place. All the information is linked below. Maybe you're a adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. I have 3-day itineraries linked down below for you. So go ahead and download them and use them when you get down here. And maybe you are looking to make a trip down here, to move down here. Maybe you're using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds like what it is, literally Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below: name, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to North Arkansas? Enter all the information below. Make sure to miss a single notification when it comes for a home for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, every single Friday, I send an email just talking about all the cool things happening in Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? What's going on in downtown Fayetteville? When is First Thursdays? When is First Fridays? What's going on in the Walmart Amphitheater? When are all the Christmas things happening? When are all the fall things happening? All the things. There are way too many things happening in this area. Way too many things all the time. Enter your name below. Enter your email below. I'll make sure you get that email every single Friday. But I need you to be aware. I need you to be heads up. You will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you will be the most informed person eventually when you make it down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third and final thing, talking about the winters here in Northwest Arkansas, I get this question all the time. What do I do in the winter? Like, what's realistic here in Northwest Arkansas in the winter? What can you expect? It's one thing to see data. It's one thing to see all the things. But what is it like for someone who came from Chicago, moved here intentionally? What is it like in the winter time? Great question. Let me tell you for you. There are days, there are cold days. Don't get me wrong. When I first moved here, there was like a 0 day, negative 10 degree day. That was a freak thing. Broke all the records. I think actually that was the time that Texas had their issues down there too. So same year, we were fine, not a problem. It was like 1 or 2 days and we're back to normal. That never happened. So that's like the worst of the worst of the worst. It was weird because it was incredibly sunny out. And it wasn't that cold. But then again, I just moved from like Chicago. So I'm like, this is great. This is fine for me. This is summertime. So the normal average experience in the wintertime is that it is sunny out oftentimes. It does get into the 50s, sometimes 40s in the daytime. That's fine for me. If I'm driving around, sometimes I keep the windows down. That's not a problem. It doesn't get it's not that cold. Not down, but like cracked. Sometimes I keep my windows open during the day in the wintertime because sometimes it does get up in the 60s or sometimes 70s. That does happen. Not uncommon. There are a couple days where it's like, I don't need to have the heat on. I can open the windows. It's pretty warm outside. So that does happen. It does get chilly at night. So you'll have some frost. And then if it does snow, which I'm more used to driving in snow, a lot of people aren't here, so that's fine. But usually work shuts down, the school shut down because they don't have the resources to handle it. If it even threatens about icing, which it does a couple times a year, there will be the threat of ice, or it might like rain and then freeze. If there's any of those occasions, really work will tell you don't bother coming in, don't go on the highways because we don't have salt trucks. Just don't go anywhere. It made it a little bit easier for life to exist here. I'm sure of it. Because COVID, everyone kind of adjusted for it. I was never here. I was here during COVID, but I was never here before COVID. So never sure what it was like beforehand. But regardless, life does shut down a little bit when it does snow and it does actually ice a little bit. But regardless, it's back the next day. Like it's back to normal. So It is a weird spot in America where we do get a little bit of cold, but we do get a decent amount of heat in the wintertime, but we don't get a lot of ice in general. So it is a big win overall living here in Northwest Arkansas when it comes to the wintertime, because I can be outdoor, I can be indoor. It's kind of like this balanced effect where you're not cold all the time and then you get warm. It's kind of like this, like, ooh, it's a little bit chilly. Ooh, it got warm. Oh, it's a little bit chilly. Oh, it got warm. Ooh, it got chilly. Oh, it got warm. So you really don't feel like you ever go through winter here in Northwest Arkansas. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is, a starter pack full of all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. It comes in a literally package shipped right to your home, It comes with a 120-page guide, literally city by city, population, demographics, all the cool features, all the things about Northwest Arkansas, 120-page guide made by me, shipped right to your home. Also, comes with your handy-dandy NWA coloring book. Come on, it's a coloring book. It's a coloring book. You want the coloring book. Okay? You definitely want it. So 120-page guide, a coloring book, all my 3-day itineraries, all the things you want in Northwest Arkansas comes right to your home, shipped right to your home. Enter your name below, enter your address below. I'll make sure you get that package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite full F word. Free! So enter your information below. Make sure to get the package shipped to you right away. All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next one.